Hi, Champion Summary Review here. Watch out and take care. Today we will be sharing a 2022 American biographical film titled Blonde. Please enjoy, like and subscribe to this channel to support. As a young girl, Norma Jean Mortensen grew up being raised by her mentally unstable mother Gladys. On her 7th birthday in 1933, she is given a framed picture of a man Gladys claims as her father. Later that night, a fire breaks out in the Hollywood Hills, and Gladys drives Norma up there, claiming that her father lives there, but is forced to go back home at the orders of the police. An enraged Gladys tries to drown Norma in the bathtub when she asks about her father but lets her go. Norma escapes to the house of her neighbor, Miss Flynn, who promises she will be fine. A few days later, Norma is sent to an orphanage while Gladys is admitted to a mental hospital, having been declared unfit to raise a child. In the 1940s, Norma becomes a pin-up girl under the stage name of Marilyn Monroe, appearing on magazine covers and calendars. While trying to break into the acting industry, she is raped by film studio president Mr. Z. In 1951, she auditions for the role of Nell in Don't Bother to Knock. The audition goes poorly after she breaks down and leaves in tears, but she impresses the casting director enough to give her the part. As her acting career steadily rises, she meets Charles Cass Chaplin Jr. and Edward G. Eddie Robinson Jr., with whom she begins a polyamorous relationship. Norma lands her breakout role in 1953 with Niagara, but after she is spotted in public with Cass and Eddie, she is told by her agent to limit her appearances with them in public, which upsets her because she feels that her persona of Marilyn is just a role and not her true self. Norma becomes pregnant with Cass's child, much to her delight, but eventually decides to have an abortion out of fear that the child might inherit Gladys' mental issues. Cass supports her decision. On the day of the appointment, she changes her mind, but it is too late. Following the abortion, she breaks things off with Cass and Eddie. She later meets Joe DiMaggio, a retired athlete who sympathizes with her when she expresses her desire to leave Hollywood and become a more serious actress in New York City. As she films Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, she receives a letter from a man claiming to be her father. Norma feels disconnected from her on-screen performance at the film's premiere, saying it is not her. She returns to her hotel room, having been told that someone is waiting for her. Expecting it to be her father, she instead finds Joe, who asks to marry her, which she accepts reluctantly. Norma and Joe's marriage sours when Cass and Eddie give Joe some nude publicity pictures of her, which enrages Joe so much that he hits her and demands that she refuse to do the 7-year itch out of principle. However, she still goes through with filming, doing the famous publicity stunt with the white dress. When she gets home, a drunken Joe screams and gets physically violent with her. She divorces him shortly after. In 1955, Norma auditions for the Broadway play Magda, written by renowned playwright Arthur Miller. During a read-through, her performance impresses everyone but Arthur. He eventually warms up to her when she gives him some insightful character analysis. Norma and Arthur marry and move to Maine, where she lives a happy life with him and becomes pregnant. However, when walking on the beach one day with a platter of food, she trips and miscarries. Distraught, she returns to acting soon after. While filming Some Like It Hot, Norma becomes more uncontrollable and mentally disturbed. She is overwhelmed by the constant press attention, feels that she is becoming a joke, has frequent outbursts on set, especially toward director Billy Wilder, and grows increasingly distant from Arthur. To cope with her stress, she begins taking pills. By 1962, she has become dependent on drugs and alcohol. Secret Service agents pick up an intoxicated Norma and take her to a hotel to meet the president, who forces her to fellate him, before raping her, and then has her taken away after she vomits in his bed. Already dazed and drugged on pills, she begins to wonder if this is what being Marilyn Monroe has led to, and she also hallucinates having another abortion before being sent back to her home in Los Angeles. She learns from Eddie on the phone that Cass has died and has left something to her, which she refuses to see at first but is convinced by Eddie, who sends it in a package in the mail. Cass' memento turns out to be the stuffed tiger plush that she found when the three of them were together. And the package also contains a letter where he confesses that the letters that Norma has been receiving, supposedly from her father, were actually written by him. Shattered by the revelation, Norma overdoses on barbiturates. As she dies on her bed, she has a vision of her father welcoming her to the afterlife. We hope you enjoy this video summary. Do remember to subscribe. Thank you.